after Bob passed away, there was I call it the very first Gypsy Cafe. It was literally, I think, 3 or 4 days after Bob had passed away, that everybody you could just about imagine or name had come out here that weekend. There wasn't any sponsorships and nobody making any money or doing anything like that. It's just everybody wanted to come out here and play music and remember Bob and tell stories. That whole weekend, that whole jam session that weekend was just magic. I mean, you could just sit back here and there was 2 or 3 different bonfires going and 2 or 3 different guitar circles, and everybody's passing guitars around, and girls are dancing around in dresses, and it was just everybody was having a lot of fun. And when I go, I hope there's something like that. That'd be cool.
The last call celebration, the Chad Sullins last call celebration that we had, it came about, I'd say probably, I had the idea probably a day after he passed. And I thought, well, we have to do something big for him. And so that was the first inclination that I had in my head, is that we needed to do something big. We needed to do something that commemorated his body of work. And by Tuesday or Wednesday of that week, I happened to find myself in a 3-way text conversation with Reagan Parkerson and Katie Dale from the Red Dirt Relief Fund. And Reagan really did a lot of the logistics. Like, he was able to get with Carrie McBride at the Tumbleweed and secure that location. And then so while Katie and Reagan and I were texting back and forth, somebody made the joke that said, well, why don't we just bring the whole Gypsy Cafe planning party in here? And I said, yeah, that's exactly right. And so it started to go from there. And I told him from the get-go, I was like, I'll do the artist. I'll get the artist. And we really just kind of went from there. Katie and the Red Dirt Relief Fund did like a lot of the logistics. Reagan did a lot of, like, he secured the Tumbleweed. He got a lot of that stuff down. I reached out, and all of the artists that you saw, I reached out individually to and asked them, would you please, do this? We're trying to organize this event. Would you do this? And every one of them said yes. We only had one of them not be able to show. He had just joined a band and was on the road, but we were easily able to fill him in, because a lot of people hit me up and said, can I play? And we just had too many people. We had 13 hours worth of music. I think it was 26 solo artists, if I remember right, and 4 full bands. So we got everybody together. We made it as professional as it possibly could have been. It was like doing an entire festival in a day. And that's really what it felt like. We had to be there at 10 a.m. to start getting it set up. We had doors open at noon. We had a line outside at noon. So we thought, this could be a big event, because up to that point in time, frankly, I didn't care. And I know that may sound callous, but let me put it into some context. Alicia asked me, or somebody had asked me, well, how many people do you think are going to be there? And my response was, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me if there's 20 people there or if there's 2,000 people there. I'm going to do the same show regardless of who shows. And kind of the cliche, if you build it, they will come. We got out a professional looking poster, which once again Reagan did that. We got out, Carrie was able, he said, should we pre-sell this event? I said, yeah, I think so. We should put it out there. That'll give us kind of a feeler on how many people are going to end up showing up. So whenever it was posted to the Tumbleweed website as pre-sales, and it was only a suggested $10 donation. You could pay $0, you could pay $10 suggested, or you could pay more than that. And people showed up in troves. People flew in from out of state, not just drove in. People flew in from Iowa, people flew in from Kentucky, people flew in from Illinois. People came in here to give him the send-off that he needed. And to be frank with you, after looking back on it, it couldn't have been any better. It was absolutely perfect. Without a hitch, it came off great. So then it came showtime. You know, we had all of these artists lined up to go, and to be frank with you, I still had a little bit of nerves. I still wanted to make sure that everything went smoothly. But the one thing that played in my favor that I didn't realize would is that every single person had an admiration for Chad. A lot of them had already covered his songs. They already had his songs in their repertoire. So whenever these artists came out, they played their own songs, they played their favorite covers, and they played Chad Sullins songs. And it actually kind of reminds me of what Chad used to say on his acoustic sets. He would say, I play my songs, I play the songs of my heroes, and if you have a request of those two things, then I'll play them. Otherwise, you can write your request on the back of a $100 bill and put it in the case up here, and then I'll get to it. You know, so he always made a joke. He always made light of it. But so many artists, he touched so many people. That you know, the couple covers that stood out to me. Ben McKenzie did "Still Missing You," and I think that brought a lot of people to tears. Chloe Beth doing "December." I was one of the ones out in the audience. I was crying and cheering on at the same time. You could just tell the atmosphere in that building was one of love, was one of respect, and it was so beautiful. I mean, the beauty surrounding it, you could just feel it in the air. It was truly a special time. So I got a message from Nick Gibson. He and I were in close contact with each other throughout this whole ordeal. Nick was a lifesaver in a lot of regards, but he asked me, he says, would it be okay if Presley sang a song with me at the show? And I said, absolutely it would. And so they worked up their duet together, and before they went on, everybody had just a little bit of nerves, including me. No, Presley singing with Nick up there, I think, was a showstopper. I think that had everybody stop in their tracks.
Arriving at the Tumbleweed Dancehall, I felt both empowered and humbled to be in a place where so many amazing artists had performed. Throughout the day, as I was watching the other musicians and enjoying the atmosphere, I felt honored to be a part of the whole production. Right before my performance, as I was standing backstage, I felt scared, but I also felt excited to honor my dad's legacy through music. During the performance, I was very emotional, but I also felt motivated and inspired by the kind faces in the crowd cheering me on, as well as by having Nick Gibson singing with me. After the song was done and I walked off the stage, I felt swarmed with love and support of my community and music family. It was an amazing experience and an amazing event.
Sullins, everybody. Y'all give it up, Presley Sullins.
So a lot of people asked me if we were going to do a silent auction, and I knew that my time was invested so much. So Tanya Little from Float OKC and Little Okie Land, she stepped in and organized a silent auction. We also were able to do a live auction. We auctioned off a guitar that was donated by Rick Sullins, Chad Uncle Rick. We auctioned off Ellie the Wonder Van, and all the silent auctions, all of the live auction. Kyle Carter from Mile Zero Fest, he brought out a Mile Zero Fest guitar and 2 passes to the festival, and so that was a huge donation as well. And so all said and done, whenever I don't have the final tally yet. There's not a final tally, but I know for a fact that it's north of $30,000 that we raised for Chad's kids. And so not only was it an act of love, but it ended up doing exactly what it should. So much so that they're talking about doing an annual event now.
Hi y'all, I am me a little, and of course, you know, Chad is and was near and dear to my heart. He is the whole reason I found the red dirt scene, the whole reason I know anything about this world, and I think he would have been amazingly proud of the way that this has turned out. The amount of people that came out today and seeing his name up in lights at the Tumbleweed and just raising money for his kids, all of it has been fantastic, and my heart is just warmed because I love that guy, and I know we all do, and that's why we're here. And he changed my whole life, and he brought amazing people into my world, including Alicia and Presley, who, I mean, I can't thank him enough for that. And it's been an amazing journey and an amazing ride, and I'm glad to be a part of it. Thank you.
And so then, after the festivities were done, BC and the Big Rig were able to get up there, do their set, and have members of the original Last Call Coalition come up on stage with them. And so a lot of people got to see the Last Call Coalition really for the first time.
Hey, this is Josh. I was a member of the Last Call Coalition for a very, very long time. I'm here at the Tumbleweed in remembrance of Chad and all the years we spent together and on the road and living the life. The ups and downs, the craziness. It's a lot of emotions at once. Some it's not real, and some you just have to accept. But I'm glad I was part of it. I mean, I really don't regret anything. I mean, we did things, like I said before, that no one ever gets to do, and they try so hard. And it just came so easily. Like, we had things that other people look for, and it was just such a great feeling. And he had such a talent. The talent I saw that people didn't get to see, that I wish would have really came out. Like, I mean, he was amazing already. I just wanted it to really blossom. And man, there'd be times I'd see him play and he would just be nailing it and I'd get goosebumps. And that's what I chased. He was different, he was special. And I kept chasing that because I believed in it. And it was a blast, no matter how it ended. It was unreal. Telling the stories was just, and all the memories we had, it's just unreal. Some of them are crazy. And it was a blast, and it changed me forever. Completely, it molded who I am. And I don't regret any of it. I never will. I mean, it's a huge part of my life. And I love being here with my ex-band members, everybody from the past, and seeing everybody and celebrating all this together with everybody. It's awesome. And it brings back a lot of good memories, as usual. But I'd like to thank Tony for being there and helping us look cool, because we're not at all. So there's a lot of editing, probably a lot of animation to make us look cool. But everybody that helped out, and I wish the family, you know, all my condolences. They were part of my family as much as anybody. I mean, everybody was family, what we went through, and what we still go through. But it was a great ride. It was a great ride. And I will never, ever regret it or forget it. So thank you, Tony. Thank you, Chad. Thank you, Mike. Jeremy, not Jerry. Okay, Jerry. Jesse. Everybody, Chris, Joe. Everybody helped. It was an amazing family, and I'll never forget it.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mike, the original drummer for Last Call Coalition. I know my time in the band was short, but it's something that I haven't forgotten, and I probably never will. Being here at the Tumbleweed, played a lot of cool shows here, seeing all these people that came to celebrate Chad. I'm in a small fraternity of people that actually got to be in a band with Chad, and that's a different lifestyle that all these people don't know, but it's one that I wouldn't trade for the world. So I remember meeting Alicia and Presley for the first time, jamming at their house, practicing back in the day. Some of the best times I ever had. So appreciate seeing them today. It's been a long time since I've seen them. So I got to hug everybody and see people I haven't seen in a long time. So Just want to give my best wishes to all the family and appreciate all the fans, all the people that came out. Chad loved you guys. That was his life. It was my life too for a short time. I wouldn't trade it for nothing. Appreciate it. Appreciate Tony. Remember from the old days. Always made us look cool. Thanks.
Man, what can I say? It was a great fucking time. Can't explain it to most people. It was wonderful, changed my life. Did more in a small amount of time than most people dare to get off the couch for. All I can say about Chad is that I hope that finally he rests in peace. And he was a friend, he was a brother. 6 years on the road together. And all I can say is that I hope wherever he's at, he's happy.
So Chad Sullins, he kind of just uprooted me out of my normal life, and all those guys. Josh actually was the one that initiated it to bring me on the road after Jerry kind of disappeared. And, man, it was rough at the beginning. It was fun, man. It was definitely different than anything I was used to, but getting on the road with them was fun. I think Chad probably fired me once a week for the first month or so until I could play everything the way that he wanted me to be able to. I mean, he was kind of a hard ass on me a little bit, I guess you could say. But man, it was fun, worth it in the end. Man, I had a blast and I wouldn't change any of it for anything. I mean, the dude was something else. Could write a song and sing like nobody's business. And I don't think anybody would ever argue that. I mean, he'll be missed, and I'm glad this whole event's going on so we can all remember him, everybody can get together and talk. My condolences to the family, and my thoughts are with you all.
And then, you know, one thing leads to the other, and they say, well, let's go to the farm. And that's where we're here right now. This is the birthplace of red dirt music. Everybody who's anybody has played out here, and you can feel it. And that's why Chad had such an affinity for this location. And I do as well. Whenever you come out here, you feel the restless spirits. You feel everybody that's out here. And so without planning it, we didn't plan on doing it, but I'm so happy that it happened this way. About 30 or 40 of our best friends came out here and jammed. And you saw Kyle Nix from the Turnpike Troubadours. You saw Roger Ray from Jason Boland and the Stragglers. You saw Nick Gibson out here, Gib Stones. You saw everybody out here playing music. There was, I think at one point in time, there was 5 or 6 guitars going, a fiddle and a dobro. And so as much magic was made out here as there was on that stage. And so that's why we just want to give a nod to our Red Dirt history and all the restless spirits in the night.
After the event on Saturday, we planted 2 trees to commemorate my dad. We planted the first tree at the farm, a sacred hotspot of creativity in Stillwater. It is an autumn blaze maple which turned fiery red in the fall. Next to it, we placed a bench which can be used for writing songs and enjoying music for years to come. A few days later, on August 6th, we celebrated the birthday of our dear friend and music journalist Tanya Little at the farm. Wilma Jenkins, mother of Brandon Jenkins, came to hang out, and she spread her son's ashes at the songwriting tree as well. It was a very special moment for everyone. Ultimately, I'm so excited about the addition of the songwriting tree, and I can't wait for everyone to get to enjoy it in the coming years.
There is no possible way that I could have more gratitude than I do for all of the people that made this celebration happen for Chad. Everyone who showed up, everyone allowed Presley to do something so special during a very, very emotional time and showed her so much love and support. Everyone came together to rally around the kids and support them in honor of Chad. It was all so incredibly beautiful.
So I talked about an amazing show. There was an amazing show. We came out here to the farm afterwards, and right about the time that we got out here, it started raining. And I knew, in fact, I think I made a joke whenever I heard the thunder. I said, well, there's Chad piping in. And I don't think that it soaked in as much that night as it did the next day when Gib was able to share with Cale, a friend of mine, something that was very healing. And I want to just use his words. He said that I don't think I'll be able to make the Willie's deal. We had a tribal member pass, and one of the organizations will be feeding the mourners today. As chiefs, we have to be there to represent the respected bands. I just wanted to come over here and check this tree thing out. Last night was just what I needed, though. I got to hang with my brothers, my pals, and play songs until the sun came up. Just like my very first time out here at the farm, Chad and I did the exact same thing. To me, it felt like his ceremony was over. As natives, we try to have an understanding about all of the Creator's creations. Yesterday was a final farewell to a lot of us musical brothers. There was a lot of emotions and feelings left up on the stage last night. I felt anyways. So the Creator seen us, He heard us, and took pity on us. He sent that rain to wash away all of our tears and all of our feelings away. Chad made footprints all over this place, but now he's with the creations, the heavens, the wind, the rain, the earth. Last night's rain washed away all his footprints from this world for him to make new ones on the other side, and for us as loved ones and mourners to make new ones without him. He will always be with us, no doubt, but we now have to carry on without him. That's the way we believe it to be. That's the way I believe. So it was good. It's going to be good, and we're all going to be all right. I love you.
I'll be right here when you need me to be true, 'cause I'm still missing